Slow start from the Steamers. They need to get their hands on the ball and get some good territory.
And I think this is the first time a Steamers player's actually run into the Waikato half. The ball's been there occasionally, but the players, they've had little possession down this end, and now they're going to perhaps thrive on it. And it was a slight...
"40 minutes to go in the final Super 14 match of the weekend." What a weekend it's been. Cutthroat Steenkamp.
Outside, yeah.
Matfield. Spies. Must say, Houston has stood up well in defence. Chance here for Stechman. So typical Bulls rugby as they drive at the defence again. Very much a start like they had. Olafield's through. Valiant Olafield. So the line had to give after all. His 9th try, as you see there in Super 14 rugby. Well, we talked about the defence of the Reds, and it was Lucas who just couldn't get his hands on a flying Olafir. We'll see here, he just came at the angle and then went the other way. Hines.
If they continue this attitude, I'm going to have a go. If I've got a support player there, I'll try and find the pass to him. The idea is not to button off Tony. This is how they started. They've got to keep going for 80 minutes.
Well, this is a lovely touch from Lavia, taking the ball right to the line and then a cutout pass into space for Toyava.
The Stewart concern for me is the speed of the Lions 10, 12 and 13. Van Rensburg, Fourie and Pretorius, they're flying up and just drifting out and creating huge gaps that the Blues' backs are going through.
Stay on.
Well, the front rows have gone down, but he's let it go, and Smiley, well, fingertip stuff there from Toyava, and he's lost that. And yet again, the Lions are able to get the ball out of their own 22 following the error from the Blues.
Yes, they're prepared to kick it out, start the game at line-out time, compete, attack the ball, attack the Blues ball.
I also wonder, fellas, I know that you don't want to sound like a scratch record, but that week off for the Blues, maybe it's going to take them about 10 or 15 minutes just to get back into some rhythm, and the option might be actually better to hold on to the ball instead of throwing the 50-50.
This time Haiu wins it for the Blues. Picked up on the bounce by Lavia, gets into a bit of a gap. Blackie's there with him again. His support play already has been very good. Now Smiley. More width on a Tui Tavaki. Williams up in the line again. Wolf back in field, and Fourie is there. Makes a timely interception. Hammers it directly into touch. But they are stretching them out wide.
Yes, they're not going to stop. This is their style. This is what Pat Lam had the Auckland team at the NPC. This is what he's trying to achieve. We can blame wet conditions, lack of concentration, but this is good running.
So inside the last 10 minutes, and that's how it stands in Pool 4 at the moment, with Newcastle just tipping the scales. It's the tightest group in the European Challenge Cup, no question, with Overmark Palmer, the Dark Horses, having beaten Brive in the first round. Doing the double over El Salvador. Brive face Overmark Palmer next weekend at the Stade Amédée Domenech. Newcastle have a Sunday lunchtime date with El Salvador out in Spain. Johnston.
Go 10.
So a win, you would think, would give Newcastle passage into the quarterfinals. You would expect them to get 5 points from their Spanish sojourn. For Brive, well, if they don't get victory here, they're going to have their work cut out. Revenge will be in their minds, of course, from that surprise loss in the first round. But it's certainly going to make for a very interesting finish to this pool. Suddenly, they're working the ball right. Barry Davis out to Lingeri. Lingeri cutting back. Lingeri over the line. Well, there's the first try. We've had to wait 72 minutes for it. But it shows just what a dangerous operator Lingeri is. So strong, so quick. And Brive now have the opportunity to take the lead for the first time in this match with the conversion.
Well, this is almost a repeat of the chance they had in the first half. Just moving it on, Johnson moving it on, and Lingeri picks a terrific line. Comes inside Visser, makes him look a beginner. Yeah, all the Englishmen involved in it. Davis there as well. Lovely step and line by Lingeri. And he's in, and that is actually quite an important score, as you can see.